teach the whole world music. Just sing a simple. Well, it seems like I don't know whether the music froze or not. Did it?
No, it was still going.
Oh, I don't know. It's on my end, I guess. We're getting a storm in here in a few minutes, but
Yeah,
you too.
yeah, it started to cloud up.
Okay, well, it's a wonderful day. I'm so happy to see you,
I'm so
sister.
happy to see you
It's a
too.
wonderful day. Dear God, as we sit before you to speak, we pray to you that our souls you will keep. And if we should die before we finish, we pray that any outstanding sins will be forgiven. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
And Rita, if you have a prayer someday you want to pray it, help yourself.
My prayers are private. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Private. That's all right.
That's right. That's between
God
me and the
knows.
Lord.
The Lord understands. Yes. So
That's between me and the
everything,
Lord.
everything is good. And I'm waiting on this rain. I'm a rain harvester, so I'll be happy when it rains. Just as long as everybody is safe. Rainwater harvester.
Oh, okay. That ain't sound like a Lotus Filer.
So I be happy when it rains. Isn't God good to us?
Amen.
And I want to say, so you've listened to the radio station, right?
Yes, I have.
Did you listen today? I have more songs on there
No,
now.
I didn't. I didn't listen. I was busy
I
doing something else.
I have today's weather, and I also
Oh,
have
hey,
a radio station introduction from me. It's getting better. I have more songs on there. And for everybody, the songs are original. They're the Polk Sisters and Company, the Inspiration of God singers, and Evangelist Shirley Polk and Miss Shirley Polk. All of the songs that I play on the radio station, the prayers, everything is original, given directly by God. And
and
that's what the radio station is based on. And so, if anyone out there, if you have a talent, if you're a poet, you're a singer, songwriter, you have some material that you can send in to me, and I can go over, check it out, and everything. And hey, this is what S Polk Radio is all about. And so you can. Did you download the player, Cleester?
no, because I told my grandson he gonna have to do it because I don't know how to do that kind of stuff.
There's a player on there that you can download, and just like any other internet radio station, satellite, the whole works. Wherever you go, driving down the highway, sitting on the beach, wherever, you can tune into S Folk Radio. And there is a link there on my Facebook page, and then I sent some links to some private uh, messages and everything, but you can go to my Facebook page because I shared it 2 or 3 times on the Facebook page. So it's S Polk Radio.
Hey.
So I am so thankful to God. I've been talking about it, and I've been wanting to do it for years and years and years. So Saturday, I said, God, am I to do this? You want me to do this? Because God has to He has to approve of everything I do. I don't want to stick my neck out and have to bring it right in right quick or get it chopped off. And so Saturday it was launched, and it's going strong. It started out because I have to have a certain format of my music and my material that I put on there. Then I had to go back and reformat some uh, music. So now I have more music on there today, but it's going to get better and better each and every day. So read it when you finish your book. Then you can read different segments of it. I, I, I keep hounding you about that book, don't I?
I don't. I read the book and I read and Gail and Mike here read the book and they thought it was wonderful, but I just got this thing about you know what I'm saying? Somebody tell me it ain't good enough. Okay, then that just gonna crush my heart, Jesus.
Well, you're gonna have critics anyway, so you have to do
Anywhere you
what you.
go, yes.
That's right. You're gonna have to do what you do because somebody. Now if Mike Helen Land said it's good. It's got
Ain't
to be
nothing
good.
good.
Right. It's got to be good. So, hey, do you want to get the title? Not yet. No, not
No,
yet.
not yet.
No, not yet. So I'm so excited. I am so anxious. And so anyway, it's on and it's up. And I thank God. I thank God. So you're okay with it? You like it?
What? The radio station?
Uh-huh. You know, I had to come
Yes,
through.
yes.
All right. All
I
right.
told you I had my children listen to it.
Yes. And so I signed off last night at about 11:20 something, just, or was it 10 something? Anyway, but eventually it'll be 24/7. And I can let it run 24/7 if I want to right now, but I want to put more on there. Right. Yeah.
My grandson said, Granny, you gotta download it. That's that you can do that. You gonna download it for me.
Yes. So everybody, we're inviting you to go on there, and you could go to, what is it, citrus3.com. But anyway, just follow the link. Follow the link. Okay, so I'm talking about self-hatred today. What are you talking about, Reedy?
I'm talking about the psychology of bragging.
Oh, yes. Oh, my
Oh,
goodness.
we have those so many braggers.
I know. I
And we got
know.
some people that brag but don't have nothing to brag about.
I'm anxious to get into that. So you want me to go first? You want to go first?
Of course I do. That's why
Self-hatred.
you asked.
From Psychology Today. Hello, everybody. Self-hatred, and this is the Psychology Today version of it. Self-hatred encompasses continual feelings of inadequacy, guilt, and low self-esteem. People may constantly compare themselves to others, perceive only the negative and ignore the positive, and believe that they will never be good enough. But every single person has worth and value. See, we try to tell people that every time we come on here, don't we, Read it?
Yep, yep.
Everybody has
Everybody. That's right.
worth and value, and the ability to cultivate self-love. You've got to love yourself first before you can love anybody else. It's got to be that. So what causes self-hatred? How to develop self-worth, self-loathing, depression, and suicide. We're going to cover those. Um, Feelings of self-loathing. What causes self-hatred? Feelings of self-loathing are deeply painful, but exploring those emotions is the first step toward healing. You have to explore those emotions. You have to accept the fact that you hate yourself. So you have to own up to it. You have to feel, something's wrong. Something's wrong. So what is going on? And so that's why we encourage people to study and to seek help and say, I'm feeling this way. I don't know why I'm feeling this way. And then you have to be with somebody that you can trust and somebody that really cares for you so they can help you along the way to get to where you need to get you some help. So if you're struggling with hateful thoughts, reflect on what sparked them. Well, what made you think this hateful thing? Did you make a mistake at work? Did a recent dinner with a friend lead you to feel envious? Identifying these triggers can allow you to diffuse them and the next time they arise. So you have to figure out, okay, why did I start feeling like this? What made me feel like this? So beyond immediate triggers, the roots of self-hatred can often be traced to environmental circumstances such as hypercritical parenting, yep, or personality traits such as perfectionism, yes.
Yep.
Once feelings of worthlessness take hold, they can be difficult to release. The stories that form around early experiences can become deeply entrenched, but there are still many ways for people to confront self-criticism and develop a strong sense of self. So everything is not lost. If you're feeling like this, if you know somebody's feeling like this, tell them there is hope. You can come out of this. You're going to have
Right.
to work at it, but you can come out of this. So if you really want to come out of this, you can get out of it, but you have to work at it. So why do I hate myself? some people probably ask themselves, why do I hate myself? And they really don't know that they hate themselves, even though they lash out and they, take it out on other people, how they're feeling and everything. Some really don't know that they hate themselves. That's why they mistreat other people. So why do I hate myself? The pain of self-hatred can be due to different reasons. Abusive parenting or childhood trauma that can prevent the development of self-esteem. Perfectionism can lead people to believe that they'll never be good enough, and dissatisfaction with a particular trait, such as intelligence or appearance, can lead to doubt and inadequacy. A grave error, such as a betrayal or crime, can also fuel self-loathing. And I've heard people say that their parents have told them, like a particular color or something. You don't look good in that color. You should never wear that color. You should never wear that kind of skirt. You should never wear that kind of dress. You should never wear those kinds of shoes. You just don't look good. And some people are so cold-blooded, and they put these things on these children, and they never get over them. Never, ever get over them.
That's
And
what
then we go,
all of these stars. Their mama put all that stuff on them. Cause that girl
right.
here that lost her brain cause her mama. Woosa. Woosa. You know that girl Britney Spears. You can always tell when she's in town. When she's here, because the media is everywhere. And that's what they're going through now. Because see, the daddy and mama still live here.
Mm-hmm.
And you know,
the daddy's still there?
Yes, they both still here, the daddy and the mama.
Oh, I didn't know he was still there. I knew the mama.
They both still live here.
Wow. Wow.
And the ex-husband too. They was talking to him the other day.
Wow.
They came looking for him.
That's the one she married for a little while.
For 50 hours. Remind me of one of my
weddings. Yes. So your parents, many of those parents try to live their lives through the children.
Through the children, yes, ma'am.
Because they missed out. And so these children are gifted and talented. So now they feel like, I'm not saying Britney Spears' parents, I'm not saying any particular one, but we know that there are parents that try to live their dreams out through their children, and they push them and push them and push them and push them. They surely do.
Yeah.
So I hate myself. What does that mean? People who hate themselves assign disappropriate weight to their faults and overlook their strengths, really, because the first thing we look at is what's wrong with us. And that's how society teaches us. First thing, what's wrong? What are you not doing right? Instead of what's right with you. Count up all the things you're doing right, that you feel you're doing, all the positive things in your life first. And then we'll go to the negatives if you have some. Okay? So this can be fueled by a time in which they developed a harmful narrative about themselves. That can be difficult to invalidate, but treating others with kindness, which will hopefully lead to treating oneself with kindness, is one place to start. Start trying to be nice to people. Start treating people nice. And you know, when people treat, it means so much. I can't stand to be around a snobby person.
Oh, Lord.
And if they snub, is it a snub? If they snub you, snub me once.
I don't know what I ain't never heard of snub me.
Snubby, well, snobbish people.
Yes,
I don't give them a chance to be snobbish to me too much longer after the first time. Now I will see, because different personalities. People have different personalities, and some people's personalities are dry and somber, and they're shy and whatever. So I try myself. Not perfect. Me, not perfect. I try myself, because I know some people try to size me up to and see how I tick. but they're not gonna find out too much. But anyway,
They get tagged with
when you when you are around people, give them the benefit of a doubt. When you see, well, okay, this is not for me to be here around this, then you have to move around. Okay, so
uh-huh.
so you have to fairly try to understand people. And if it gets to where it's not for you to be, around them, and you find out they're snobbish, they snub you or whatever, then you have to deal with it. And there's a way to deal with it, but they won't even know you're dealing with it. Okay, how to develop self-worth. Cultivating self-esteem is the antidote for self-loathing. Learning how to silence one's inner critic can limit the negative thoughts that come to mind and the comparisons made to others. Practicing self-compassion and learning how to forgive others and oneself for past mistakes, whether serious or trivial, are key approaches as well. Seeking support from a loved one or mental health professional is also an important part of the process. And there are some things that happen to people that they cannot shake, because it just hurts my heart to even think of some of the awful, 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 awful things that people do to other people,
Other people. Yeah.
and even to animals and different things. Like there's some evil, evil, uh, oh my God, people, their minds are twisted and they do this. And then that's a form of self-hatred too.
Yes. Yes.
You're taking it out on somebody else. You hate
Yeah.
yourself. Don't understand. I hate myself. Okay, well, if you hate yourself, hey, if somebody got to go.
Why
If
not be
somebody
you?
just got to go,
Why not be you?
and all of that'll be over. If somebody just got to go,
You look
okay.
better going than me.
I'm not advocating suicide, y'all. I'm not doing that. But if this, but you look at the situation. You look at these things.
Yeah.
Well, these people that go and kill their families, kill groups
Yes.
and groups of people,
Yes.
and then they don't want to die.
Ain't that the ain't that
Fight and fight,
right?
appeal after
Right.
appeal, a
Right.
stay of execution, and all that. Now they've killed all of these people, maimed and hurt people. People are still disabled because of some of the hurt and pain and torture that people have done to them. And then they don't want to be hurt. They don't want the perpetrator wants to live, and appeal after appeal after appeal after appeal. And so I just say, hey, if somebody just got to go now, the whole thing could be over in a few seconds. So how do I stop hating myself? People may condemn themselves to years of self-loathing, especially after committing a terrible act. Self-forgiveness offers a path to release the burden. This process can begin by forgiving others and progress to recognizing that you too are more than your behavior, and that you can learn to love yourself. And that's the thing, learning to love yourself. And like I said, there's so many horrific things that people have done to other people to, it's not, people say, well, you just have to get over it. You just have to forgive them. You just have to forget that. But some things you do not forget. And that's why we have the psychologists, the psychiatrists, the therapists, the counselors, and all these people who are gifted and trained and are here to help us. The counselors, all of those are here to help us, because some things, some people's minds are just, like we said, just messed up because they have been messed over. And it's not an easy thing to forget the torture and all that has been put on people. It's just some awful things go on in this world. And by the grace of God, thank you, God, thank you, God, we're still here today. We're not having to say that we've been tortured and all of that. And I thank God, but there are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people who have, and they can't just get over it like that. But God can come in and he can give them peace of mind and help them to deal with it. And even if they don't give their lives to God, then there is professional help that will help them to cope with it. Okay? So we know that everybody's not going to give their lives to God. You know, that's a common thing. Everybody's not going to give their lives to God. Okay? All right. I don't know why my phone is blinking here. I don't think anybody's on the phone with me. I don't guess. Let me see here. Hold on, everybody. What is going on here? Hold on. Stay there. Stay there. Now let me get on back to the screen. Let me get back to the screen here. Okay. Now, I don't know what's going on. All right. So Reedy went out. So hopefully she'll be back in. All right. She said it's clouded up there like it's clouding here also. So let me continue. How do I build self-esteem? You need to become aware of a problem to change it. So begin by noticing critical self-talk and challenge those thoughts. Explore the narrative you have about yourself and why it might be flawed. Avoiding comparing yourself to others and practicing forgiveness can also help cultivate self-esteem. And yes, and sometimes it takes a while. And I'm just going to be for real. You know, you can say you forgive a person, but sometimes to really sincerely, and you want to forgive a person, and I believe you'll get to that point. I know I have, okay, in certain situations, but it's not that easy sometimes. And so people throw it at you like it's just really, really that easy, but it depends on the situation, the circumstances, and whatever, because it's not always that easy to forgive. But then we can get to that place by prayer, supplication, prayer, counseling. We can get to that place where we can forgive. Forgiving doesn't mean that you have to be around that person, okay? Forgiving means that you are going to say, I forgive them, I let that go. I'm going to try my best, because if I don't do that, I can't move on in a positive way in my life. And so that's why we need to forgive. And eventually you can really sincerely forgive. But you don't have to be around the person that hurt you. You don't have to be. Okay? All right. Now, let me go on. How can I silence my inner critic? Self-loathing, depression, and suicide. Everyone experiences occasional moments of frustration, shame, and regret. Self-loathing becomes a concern when feelings of inadequacy become pervasive and debilitating. Let me check this message. Just hold on, please. Let me check this message. It might be from Clee. She says she lost her internet. It's clouding up. Oh, Reedy. Oh, I hope she can come back in. But if not, I'll go ahead and finish this, and we'll be back Thursday by the grace of God. And if she wants to do hers on a single webcast, I can do that too. And I can even put hers on the radio and on the podcast also. Okay? Self-loathing, depression, and suicide. Everyone experiences occasional moments of frustration, shame, and regret. Self-loathing becomes a concern when feelings of inadequacy become pervasive and debilitating. This situation may be a warning sign of depression. Seeking help, whether through a crisis hotline in the short term. Oh, there she is. Thank you, God. Woo! All right. Hallelujah.
Oh, that
All
cloud came
right.
up so fast and it just went away.
Wow.
Our internet, because around all these trees and stuff, we lucky to get the internet anyway.
So, okay, I'm glad you're back. Okay, so I'm talking about self-loathing now, self-loathing, depression, and suicide.
Okay.
Okay, now I'll go back. I'll say everyone experiences occasional moments of frustration, shame, and regret. We all experience that,
Yep.
and more than once in our lifetime.
Yes.
Self-loathing becomes a concern when feelings of inadequacy become pervasive and debilitating. This situation may be a warning sign of depression. Seeking help, whether through a crisis hotline in the short term or through therapy in the long term, can help overcome self-hatred and depression. And I want to say this. We, as a people, in our ethnic group,
Hello.
trust is something
Mhm.
that we are very, very, very careful with. And so sometimes we short ourselves because we won't get counseling. We won't seek psychological help. And sometimes we don't know because depending on the environment we were brought up in and
Mhm.
depending on our household or whatever, some people just don't know how to discern or see the signs that of depression and mental illness. They'll say, something wrong with you, boy, something wrong with you. You
Mhm.
always acting like this. Girl, there's something wrong with you. I don't know why you act like you do and try to knock some, and all that kind of stuff. All these kind of things come, but there are answers to the way we act and react. And sometimes, and many times, it takes professional help
Yes.
along with
Yes. It
prayer
does. Mhm.
and faith. We
Yes.
still need some help. We
That's
still
right.
need some counseling. So, how does self hatred relate to depression? Self loathing on its own is not a disorder, but it is one of several possible symptoms of depression. That's talking about self loathing. The DSM 5 articulates this symptom as feelings of worthlessness or excessive or inappropriate guilt, which may be delusional nearly every day, not merely self reproach or guilt about being sick. And here's the thought: I want to kill myself. What should I do? And we know people do feel like that. They feel like there's no hope. I just feel like killing myself. And then there's a that mental illness, and could get your brain all messed up and everything, your wires crossed, as they say, and all that, and have you thinking like this. Sometimes it's a physical thing.
Yep.
It's a medical thing.
Yep.
Your what is it? Everything could be out of balance.
Your neurons aren't sparking.
Uh-huh, and all of that. So there are many things. That's why it's so important to get professional help. Ask somebody, cry out for help. I
Yes.
want to kill myself. What should I do? Please know that there are people who want to help you, who will be able to understand the terrifying and painful feelings you're experiencing, and who have counseled and helped many people who feel as you do right now.
Mhm.
For immediate help, you can call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. That's 1-800-273-TALK. Then, or text TALK to 741-741 for the crisis text line. To find a therapist, visit the Psychology Today therapy directory. Mental health professionals can develop a personalized safety plan and help you begin to heal. Somebody can help you. If you have to call one of us, if you have to text one of us, if you have to
Girl, you
reach
done
out
got
to
in my
us,
head. That's what I was just thinking.
mm, hey, reach out to us.
Yeah.
Reach out. Oh, you know what? I think I forgot. No, I didn't. I didn't forget. I was thinking about my little ribs I put on. I think I unplugged that thing. I think I unplugged it. Oh well. Oh well. Anyway. All right. All right. So there is some
Oh
help.
my
So those are
God.
the hotlines. So it's 1:30, but I want to give you these sites where you can go to. That was Psychology Today.
Mhm.
And there's a test, there's a self-hatred test, and it's on this site. It's called Psychologia Anyway, it's Psychologia And there's a test you can take here to see if you
If
hate
you
yourself.
hate yourself.
Uh-huh. And then the self-hatred psychology today, and then um yeah, that was it. Another thing I wanted to do, but I'm done now. I've taken my probably about 25 minutes. So really, it's in your hands. Thank you everybody for being here. Now I'm going to Facebook and
Huh?
see. I'm going to Facebook and see who's on here.
You better go check on the real.
Well, if they're gone, they're gone.
Okay.
All right. You
The
have a great
psychology
subject.
of bragging. Exactly, because I am so sick of braggers. Oh my God. Every time you turn around, oh, I just had my kitchen done. My husband, he's a doctor. And of course, we're up all times of night because he has to go to the hospital but the checks are making out rent that the children are in private school. I can't stand that crap. But anyway, you're asked at the cocktail party. Mine is the psychology of bragging. Okay. For my go-to psychology today, you are asked at the cocktail party what you do. Well, you respond with enthusiasm. I'm so excited right now. I just graduated with my degree in hospitality. Hello, that sounds like my degree, hospitality. I can treat you well at home, but don't ask me no questions. A future barista, says the other guest, swirling his drink. I guess we can't all get PhDs in science like I did, bragging on the DL. Uh, you run into a former neighbor at the airport. You're taking off on a well-earned holiday, traveling cattle class. Cattle class, that's my class, cattle class. She's on the other hand, she on the other hand is traveling for work, sitting in the VIP lounge awaiting her business class seat. Yeah, she says, I'm on the road a lot. It's a kind of pain, but I knew when I took on this high-powered management job that I would have to oversee all the branches in different states. Yes, I know. Does any of this sound familiar? Is there any sense of, gee, it was great today before I ran into this person? Now I feel as flat as a 3 day old champagne. Hey, beyond that, you be suddenly questioning what's wrong with your life, doubting everything that your accomplishments to the way you look. If so, you're not alone, either in being subject to others bragging or feeling the emotional flattening effects of it. And that's what they be trying to do, make you feel bad about
Mm-hmm.
yourself. No matter
Mm-hmm.
how much you got 5 kids, you living well, you eating well, but they got to come along and tell you that it's something that you ain't doing right because I have this and I have that and I have this, and you done worked hard for your husband and your 5 children. And I almost want to file for divorce. I'm just kidding. I ain't got no husband. Anyway, okay. Just why we as human beings are so prone to boasting has been the subject of much recent psychological neuroscientific attention. Equally, researchers are now looking for the question of why we hate it so much when we are subject to others boasting. I
Mm-hmm.
hate it. I hate it with a purple passion. This article looks into both questions and offers a few tips for dealing with braggers or helping a client who is. Somebody will have to help me because I'll be holding my tongue about them
Yeah.
bragging people.
Mm-hmm.
Before we go further, let's clarify. Dictionary.com defines boasting as speaking with exaggeration and excessive pride, especially about oneself. There is a sense with bragging that we are self-glorifying, but is having pride always bad?
Mm-hmm.
Psychotherapist Richard Jolson, 2018, clarifies that pride in itself is not the problem. Appropriate pride is thought of as a feeling of self respect and personal worth, a feeling of satisfaction with one's own or another's achievement. It is, oh, it just went away. It is an integral component of healthy self-esteem and a crucial part of each person's sense of self. And I can understand that. But you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to, everywhere you go, you got to tell somebody you got 3 cars and it's just me. One's a Rolls Royce, one's a Jeep, and one's the BMW. But it's just me. Hey, shut up. With bragging, firstly, we are talking about excessive pride. Most of us are taught as children not to brag or Skype. Just what I tell my children or Skype through saying such as "Don't get too big for your britches." Yep, that. Ooh, yes. Or
Mm-hmm.
your head will
Mm-hmm.
be so big you won't go through the door. And we most dislike intensely. Okay, hate it when we must endure from others. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
indeed. But we can't do
Mm-hmm.
it because mama told us, no, you ain't going out. Tell everybody what you got. Don't go out. Your head already getting big as you can't get through the door. But mama, they told me, I don't care what they said. You ain't got to one up them, even though you can. You're taught better not to. Even though you
Mm-hmm.
can one up them, you were taught
Mm-hmm.
better not to. I find, and this is my thing. This is me. This is me talking. This is me talking. I think that people that aren't used to having are the most bragging people around. If they're not used to having and they have a car or they're not used to working, you give them a job with a desk. Girl, and that's what pistol. Girl, I had a pistol. They said work in my desk. I ain't doing that. Girl, I ain't been doing that but going to church and driving my car. That's it. That's all I've been doing. Those are the braggers. The people that aren't used to stuff are the people that brag the most. Okay, let me see. I done got off on a whole hate speech almost.
That's all right.
I'm sorry, but I can't stand a bragging person. With bragging, conversely, we are talking about excessive pride. Most of us are taught us shit. Okay, the head was too big for the britches. Okay, and the head can't fit in the dough. And we mostly dislike it. Yet, even knowing that, many of us give into the urge to do over the top showcasing for our own accomplishments, especially giving compatibilities
Mm-hmm.
for widespread self-promotion made possible by
Mm-hmm.
social media, which is the truth. You go on social media, and this is my house.
I
See, I
know.
got that face. You seen those? I got that face when we were in Taiwan, and this one I got in Paris. Honey, where were we? We got this one. Oh, shut up. Okay. That's the
Child,
way
I'm.
they do. Have you seen those videos? What they bragging about? Oh, and I've got this makeup. Got my makeup done at Is it still such a place as Merle Norman?
I
I'm
don't know. I
too
don't know.
old.
I don't
I'm too
know.
old.
That's boy. I hadn't heard that name in a
I
long
haven't heard
time.
that name a lot. Merle Norman. If anybody don't know what Merle Norman, if you're too young, it's a place
What was
like
that? Was it makeup?
it was makeup. Yes.
Okay.
Uh, I don't know the makeup people these days. But anyway, it was the main makeup back in the day. Not knowing the millions of carefully curated postings on the likes of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, psychologists of Harvard began to delve into the question of why sharing about our own experience is so important to us. We can't
Mm-hmm.
seem to stop doing it. The further wished into investigate just how rewarding it is. The psychologists set up studies, compromised the 5 brain images experiments, and found using MRI that when subjects shared information about themselves, the same areas of the brain activated as though it was light up as it
Mm-hmm.
was eating candy or having sex. Now you know that's something when you get so
Wow.
excited that your brain just light up like that. You know that was self. They was having a good time in
Mm-hmm.
their brain. Interestingly, in order to allow shared about themselves, subjects, and to forego financial reward that they could gain if they were willing to respond to questions about others. Many passed on this reward because they don't want to talk about nobody. They want to talk about themselves. I'm sorry, y'all, excuse me. They don't want to talk about nobody. They want to talk about themselves. Many passed on this reward, preferring the reward of answering questions about themselves. Robert Lee Holtz, senior science correspondent at the Wall Street Journal, summed it up this as the way in a short clip on YouTube. I'm going to have to go look for that. At a synaptic level, he was the researcher found that the brain is so rewarded by my experience of my conversation about me. He was pleasuring himself, talking about himself. That's just so sad. All
Wow.
this that's going on in the world, you can't find nothing else to talk about but yourself and what you got and what you wish you had in your line. Some of them most lying because they ain't got no BMW or Mercedes. They got a Volkswagen. And me and naming these kids like they say, oh, Porsche, a Mercedes. That's my second buy. And Mercedes looking like a Buick. Then Porsche looking like a truck. Anyway, talking about ourselves and every person with connectivity can do that endlessly by setting up social media accounts which offers an infinite number of opportunities by boasting. In fact, some careers and websites encourage us to do that, claim that we will land better jobs if we are great at self-promotion. I can't see nobody come because that promotes stealing also. Go mess around and show everything in your house to everybody on social media. If they know you didn't know you have that, mess around and go somewhere. Come back, you ain't gonna have that. All that bragging. Because you know when people didn't know we had in the house because we don't. When we take pictures, we show as little as possible of what's going on in our house. We went home to Danny's funeral. Do you remember Danny's funeral? We went home to Danny's funeral and they had to call us to come back because somebody came in our house and stole everything. Took the dining room table.
They did.
Yes, ma'am. They took the mirrors off the wall. They took the dining room table. They tore up all the rooms up under the mattress. They took Mama's purse that I had kept for Mama when Mama died. I took her purse from the hospital, so everything Mama had with her, Daddy's driver's license, it was in her purse. They stole Mama's purse. Mama had a whole bunch of remember when they had the $2 bill things to see how many black people shopped in Denison? So you use $2 and that tells you how many people, shopped around. Well, anyway, she had a whole bunch of $2 left because I think she was saving them. And she had a whole bunch of old money and they stole her purse. And we found out what the purse was. Anyway, the children had toys in here. And by the time the police come, they had taken the ramen noodles, put them in one of them kids' little Escalades and had it backed up here to the door. They was taking the ramen noodles. Hello.
The police got there before they left?
Before they got there, I guess they got here before they left because they left the car. They ran off and left the Escalades, the children Escalades that they get into, like they 4 or 5. They get into them Escalades. You buy them like a Tonka truck Escalade, but they drive. Okay. They filled it up with food, ramen noodles, jelly, peanut butter, and all that kind of stuff, and had it back right here at this door, getting ready to take it out. And the police came before they could get it out. Yes, they did. So that's why we don't show nothing that's in your house. They found out you got a stove. You go back home, you ain't got no stove. You be cooking on fire outside.
But you y'all hadn't even showed what you had in the house, but it could have been somebody that had been in the house.
It's somebody that been in the house before. We know
because you found out who it was, right?
Yes, we found out who it was, and the police said, "Well, if it was him, I'll take you over there to where he stashed his stuff when he steal it, and you can tell me if any of that's yours." Yes, that's mine. That's mine. That's mine. That's mine. Yeah, they knew who did it. They knew who did it, but
So you got mama's purse back, but you didn't get the other stuff?
no, we didn't get mama's purse back. We didn't get mama's purse
Wow.
back. We didn't get nothing of mama's back because he gave it to his mother, and it had all that old money in it, that old money and the $2 bills. And she said, the boy that told us this now, she said, give me that money because y'all ain't gonna do nothing but spend it, and I'll save it. And she took the purse.
So she wouldn't give it back to you?
No, she did not, because we went over there and she said she didn't see it, she hadn't seen it, and hadn't talked to her children about it. That's when you back in your children's play. You know what I'm saying? You upholding the stuff they done. But you such a Christian, but you're upholding the stuff that they have done. Okay, I lost where I was. Okay, going over.
You got me up.
I know it, right?
Got my feathers ruffled.
I know it. He better be glad he in the penitentiary. He back in the
Cause
pen.
didn't one of them come up dead?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I know
Yeah.
you talking.
Yeah. Uh-huh. One of them did. Yeah. And
Okay.
moreover, we have role modeling for fan the smoke. Fan the smoke. The smoke coming out your ears. Fan the smoke. Okay. Moreover, we have role modeling for doing that, though through celebrities, those who continue status in the media is dependent on their capacity to brag just a little, hopefully gracefully. But they don't brag gracefully. They try to show you everything that they got that you can't get. All of which would give us the impressions that we might be able to create a better impression in others' mind if we boast. That's not, however, what Irene Scopoletti, a behavioral scientist, and her colleagues at the City University of London, England, found. They asked 131 workers on the crowdsourcing site Amazon Mechanical Turk to complete a short survey in which they either recalled time they bragged about something or had someone else to brag to them. Then they were asked to describe their own emotions of what they believed were the emotions of the other persons in this interaction. And Scopoletti explains that her TED talk, the people who chose to talk about themselves significantly overestimated the extent to which their listeners were happy for and proud for them when bragged. They were significantly underestimated how much they annoyed others by bragging, perhaps even more significantly, both the recipient and the people who chose to recall someone else bragging to them, and self-promoters had a hard time imagining how they could feel if the roles were reversed. I told you. Everybody want to brag, but don't nobody want to hear it. Everybody want to brag, but don't nobody want to hear it. And that's an empty gap. There we go. Down. We got 10 minutes. Ooh, I got hot, girl. I talk about that stuff. I got hot.
You finished?
Yes, I'm finished.
Oh wow, that was super. I was wanting you to go on a little bit more.
I got hot thinking about that stuff I just told you about. I got hot because I'm still hot about that.
Wow, I can imagine. Yeah, I can imagine. I know when I had cleaned out over next door and everything, and I had some storage, those things they bring to you and you store things. And so I emptied that out and I took some things to another storage, and then I put some things in my trailer that I had, and I had some fine china.
Oh yes.
Fine.
I remember your china.
That I got from, it was old china. And so I was out there one day, and so a lady said, Miss said somebody was over there in a green truck and they were over there getting stuff. And so I said, okay, thank you. And because I didn't see the signs of whether anybody had been out there. Then when I went over on that side, they had left the trailer open. They had taken all that beautiful china and all of that out of there. And then when I had the tabernacle up and I had my lights, they was just these little, the little tin lights that you
Yeah.
clamp up.
Yeah.
Baby, they went out there and stole those. The church sign with Greater Gospel Temple on
What
it,
they
a
do with
metal
church
church
sign?
sign, a metal church sign. They stole that. Yes, and it hurts when people steal from you. But
Yes, it does.
you know what I did? I made some signs and I put in there for those, I said, I said, we'll invite you to come to Greater Gospel Temple.
And bring the sign.
And I said, you are being surveilled. Cause like that little girl on like that thing. Did you see that? Somebody put on there and said this little girl told her mom and dad. She said, I think it was a little girl. And she wasn't on the camera, but the mom and dad were. And she said, she went to a Christian school, and she said, I'm gonna tell it in a roundabout. I can't say it word for word. She said, you're probably gonna get. She told the dad, you're probably gonna get a letter from the school. Did you see that? This has been
I think I
recently.
did. I think I did. I think I did.
And
I think I did.
he said, why? She said, well, there was a bowl of apples there. And so they had a sign on there and said, just take one because God is watching. That's what I told her. So you're being surveilled. I said, but if you come to Greater Gospel Temple, we'd be happy to have you. I welcome them to the church. Just in case they opened the door and the sign was right there so they could read it.
Yes.
Okay, so then she went on down the line and she saw these cookies. That is so funny. And she said, so what she did, I think it's a little girl,
It's your girl.
she made her own sign and said, take all you want. God is watching the apples. That is so funny.
Yes,
But
it was.
anyway,
I laughed out loud when I saw
me
it.
too. Me too. But just like, that, hey, they had taken the stuff and I just put the sign in the trailer, locked the trailer back up, fixed the lock back on there and everything, did the best I could. And I just put the sign in there. So if they went back and opened it up, which thank God they didn't, then the sign was right there where they could read it. And I even posted it up in the tabernacle on each side. I posted signs up in there. hey, So anyway, all right. So these people are gonna steal. They're gonna take stuff just like it belongs to them. And then I still not hadn't gotten over somebody going out there taking my Sprint.
Yes, you didn't never get it back.
And I think it was some of those people that
was out there. Yeah.
Not the people that are out there now, but
I know what you're talking about.
they had mowed
that were out there.
Yeah. They had mowed that grass, and then next thing you know, my car comes up missing. Yep. And I don't like that, but I did file a police report. I haven't heard from them yet, so I need to check and see about
if anybody happened to see a 1979, was it 79?
No, 86 Chevrolet Sprint.
Okay.
86 Chevrolet Sprint, 3-cylinder.
Yeah, because Ava won around in the whole world.
I bought the first one. I bought the first one in Tex Homeland. You remember that?
Yeah.
And then there was another lady that bought one after me. And so when we saw each other and she wanted to talk to me, she had bought, I guess, the second one. I don't know. But the day I bought
the one in this whole world is one. It belongs to Shirley. Please call the PC wherever you are. Now, if you see a Sprint and it's on the road, it's Shirley's.
I was so
to Louisiana, so
I sure did. And the day that I bought it, We went right. I went and picked the children up from
I
school and
remember that.
drove to Memphis,
I
Tennessee.
remember that. Yes, y'all sure did.
And
Yes, you
Daddy
did.
didn't think that car would last me any time, and I kept that car from 86 to 2020.
Yes, you did. I remember that. I remember
Mm-hmm.
that. I mean, y'all went straight. She bought that car, packed up, and they hauled it. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
I went so many places in that car. Oh my God. And 50 miles to a gallon, 3-cylinder.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Shirley.
telling you.
And she drove it down here like in 2000, what, 18?
What did you say? You said somebody said, here come one of those little putt-putt cars.
Oh,
I drove it down there. When was it? I don't know.
it was in the 2000, it was in 2000, like
Uh-huh.
2017, 16, 17, something like that. It wasn't,
Uh-huh.
it wasn't, it made it too.
Mm-hmm.
It made it
No
on and made it
problem.
back.
No
Yes, it
problem
did. Nope,
whatsoever. That car was in great shape.
nope.
Great shape. Well, all right, Reedy, I love you.
Okay, love you
And I'm
too.
going to go ahead and check on my food so I can eat.
All right, because this cloud is rolling in.
Okay, love you,
Okay,
everybody. We
you
love
too.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for
I
being with
couldn't
us.
see anybody that was on here.
No, me either. I just see
Doris
two.
Gaffney, Gloria K. Wood, Linda Haley. Okay, I did see those.
Hello,
Hey,
hello. See,
y'all.
I don't see them on my hi Doris, hi
See
cousin
Doris
Doris.
Gaffney,
Uh-huh.
Gloria K. Wood, and Linda Haley. Thank
Gloria,
y'all for watching.
I've been thinking about you. I think it was yesterday. I said I haven't seen Gloria on Facebook in a long time. And oh, I'm so glad you're with us. And Linda Haley, hello, hello, hello. She used to work with Bubba, driving those
Yeah, I
buses.
remember.
Yes, sweet
Yes,
lady, sweet
yes.
lady. And who else?
Doris Gaffney.
Our cousin Doris, Cecil's
Yeah.
wife.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Hi, Doris.
Yes.
Hello. And
Yes.
so, everybody, just in case you might have missed it, you can go. I have put a link to S Polk Radio. And you can go to our radio station. You can hear all original songs by the Polk Sisters and Company, the Inspiration of God Singers, and me, Evangelist Shirley Polk, like my singles and everything. So the radio station is based on original music and artists who haven't been put in the spotlight, or
Yes.
as L. Davis used to say, in the lamplight. It's for us, y'all. It's for us because
Yes.
some are never going to make what they call
Man.
mainstream radio. But let
Yes.
me tell you something. S-Polk Radio is mainstream radio.
Ooh, y'all.
It's on the internet all over the world. So you can go to the link. I have it here on Facebook a couple of times. You can go to that link and you can download the player, and you can, wherever you go, you can listen to it. Okay? Wherever you go, you can listen
Amen.
to it.
Okay.
All right. I love you, everybody. Reedy, I
Love
love
you.
you, Toga.
I love you
I
too.
sure do want to come to Louisiana. You know I'm itching to come, but
Well, come
hurricane
right
season.
on, baby. And I'm itching to come that way.
Well, see, I'd rather you come this way.
I'd rather I come that way too.
Well,
That
all
way.
right.
We'll
Love
work
you.
it out. Love you much.
Okay. Love you.
Love you much.
We
Okay.
love you all. Thank you so much for being with us. We love you. We'll
Okay. Bye
see you
bye.
again Thursday. And remember, as post, the radio station is on now. While we're on live, the radio station's on live too. All right.
Okay.
Love you,
Okay.
Reedy. Talk
Okay.
with you
Bye bye.
later.
All right.
Okay.
Bye bye.